All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Chronology: 198 BCE, 200 2nd century BC. Armies of the Seleucid king Antiochus the not so great, oust Ptolemy from Judea and Samaria. Ptolemy was a Greek that ruled Egypt, the south kingdom, in the book of Daniel, the south, the king of the south, and Seleucid was the king of the north. Other Israelites know the same. This would be common knowledge. Judea and Samaria, know thine enemy. 175 BC, Antiochus IV Epiphanes ascends the Seleucid throne. 168, the year before the revolt, Maccabean revolt. So we're getting to Hanukkah. This whole thing is talking about Hanukkah. Even Christ the Mashiach, which is interpreted Christ, celebrated Hanukkah. You should too. Under the reign of Antiochus IV, the temple is looted. Jews are massacred, murdered, Yahudians, and Judaism is outlawed. Black man religion is outlawed. 167, Antiochus, this son of a bitch, orders an altar to Zeus erected in the temple. Mattathias, and his 5 sons, Yohanan, Shimeon, Eleazar, Yohanathan, and Yahudah, lead a rebellion against Antiochus. Yahudah becomes known as Yahudah Maccabi, Yahudah the hammer. Praise be Yah be praised, hammer. 166, the hammer of Yah be praised. Mattathias dies, and Yahudah Mattathias dies, and Yahudah takes his place as leader. The Hasmonean Yahudian kingdom begins. It lasts until 63 BC. That's the only time we actually took something back. The next time we'll take something back is when Christ come here. 165 BC, the Yahudian revolt against the Seleucid bastard monarchy is successful. The temple is liberated and cleaned from swine blood and all of that, and white woman temple prostitute whores, and rededicated Hanukkah. Salaki, hold on a second. Okay, Hanukkah. Next, Exodus chapter 28. Mind you, this ain't the King James Version. Sash. It says, weave the tunic of fine linen and make the turban of fine linen. The sash is to be the work of an embroiderer. So you would not get no sash as an Israelite unless it was custom made. This is how royal you are. You got to understand that. A long band of scarf, salaki, sash. A long band or scarf worn over one shoulder or around the waist. So so he got his little sash around the waist. Predominantly, that's what we were doing. Whatever to keep your clothes on you. As by military officers as a part of the uniform, or by women and children for ornament. So they will wear it around the waist. We'd wear it around the shoulder. Now what's this concerning? History from Maccabean times. The men of Joppa over here, having treacherously drowned some 200 Yahudians. Wow. No, we can't swim. Yahudah Maccabi fell upon the town, just like I would, and set the haven on fire by night, and burned the boats, and put to the sword those that had fled thither, running towards the ship, running towards their little speed boats, thinking they could get on their yacht and survive whatever God got coming. Jehonathan took the city, in which Apollonius had placed a garrison. It was not easy to hold, and some years later it was captured again by Shimeon, who garrisoned the place. You want to know why I mess with Shimeon? He know that's a strategical, like I do. They coming through the port, let's go ahead and capture that. That was a strategical advantage. Who garrisoned the place, completed the harbor, and raised a fortification. Now you know why I like Shimeon? My nigga getting things done in his brother's stead. It is recorded as part of Shimeon's glory that he took it for a haven and made it an entrance for the isles of the sea. Alright. Look at Jeremiah, born in Anathoth, outside of Jerusalem. I was about to say Israel. One thing to note is that Isaiah, one of my favorite prophets, not because of his testimony, but because his witness and being put to death. The way they put this man to death was so treacherous. They saw my man, they saw my brother, my leader, my man, my king at that time. Anybody is a king in their own right if they got the truth of God, of Yahweh. They saw them and they put them in a tree, I heard, and saw them in half. Could you imagine? I don't think you, most of y'all would go ahead and turn away the heathen, like much of you done today. But I'm like Isaiah, go ahead and kill me. That pain, I'm sure it's not too long until the Lord come and take me. I promise you that. I would die for the Mashiach. I would die for Yahuwah. I would die for this truth. I would die for my brethren. Okay? Jeremiah, Baruch, a bigger prophet than Jeremiah in certain instance, because Jeremiah was locked up most of the time. Jeremiah died in jail. Y'all saying John the Baptist, Christ's cousin, died in jail, and that's where we wrote Revelation, in jail. Written, so we gave them their final. While they put us in jail and locked us up, we giving them their final. Don't think just because you lock us away that we can't get you your judgment. Yes, one of the best, the best judgment for a heathen is written by a nigga in jail. So shout out to all my niggas locked up. Keep writing, my nigga. I write you. Keep writing. I mean, one warden at one of the prisons, one of the third degree prisons or whatever, third degree, lock up where they really lock you up. They won't even let me write my dog no more because they getting tired of me telling them about Hebrew Israelite. It's crazy. You should see them fight you. You should see them just, he don't get letters no more. They just take it, read it, throw it out. I'm pretty sure that's what they doing. But Isaiah was from here. Look at that. Amos. You know where Amos from? Tekoa. Oh, yeah. Amos. Okay. Wow. Ahijah prophesied to Shiloh. Okay. Keep going. The period of the judges preceded the kings. So it goes like this. 40 years wilderness. Everybody dies except Joshua and Caleb. Caleb comes from our tribe, so I rock with Caleb. Joshua comes from Ephraim, Epadium, which is Joseph. 40 years wilderness. Then you got Judges. Then you got Samuel, the first prophet of Israel. Then you got the first king of Israel, reluctantly, Saul, and then reluctantly given to David by Most High. God gave them judges about the space of 450 years until Shamuel the Nabi, Acts chapter 13. The last prophet was Shimeon, or the last, you could say disciple, was Shimeon. No, not Shimeon, Stephen, and they killed him. I like Stephen. Samuel was not a judge, Shoftim, but a Nabi, who introduced the period of the Malachim. The Shoftim, the Shoftimim were Othniel Shoftim, Ehud the Shoftim, Deborah and Gideon the Shoftimim, Telah the Shoftim, Jair the Shoftim, so sad, Jephthah the Shoftim, Ibzan the Shoftim, or is it Jephthah? One of the ones who promised their daughter, which wasn't deaf. They meant to be what do you call, like a to be a nun. His daughter was to be a nun to serve the Lord. Elon the Shoftim, Abaddon the Shoftim, Shamshan the Shoftim, and Eli the Shoftim ruled over Yasharal in succession according to the book of Shoftim, and the keynote of that was for that period, every man did what was right in his own eyes. But these are Israelites, so don't think that they was doing wicked. Don't you ever think that. Shamuel's anointing changed all of that. So Samuel was anointed. And remember Samuel's story, Eli and Hophni and all of that. And God was like, Samuel, come rock with me, my nigga. Come rock with your boy. And Samuel's like, yeah, I hear you. But them boys say they don't hear you. What's good? How you gonna? So he let them know, yeah, it's gonna be you, my nigga. It's gonna be you. Your mother even prayed for a child, and here you are. We good, bro. I got you, bro. And your mother gave you to me. You're good, bro. I got you, bro. Timeline, and he believed in the Lord. Timeline, and was blessed for it. Timeline leading up to Maccabees. 587, Jerusalem temple destroyed. Yahudians exiled to Babylon. 539, Persians defeat Babylon. Jews allowed to go back to Israel. Persia rules over Israel. This is where we become governors until kingdom come. 331, Alexander the Great defeats the Persians. Alexander dies. General fight for power. 3 kingdoms emerge. Egypt, king of the south, Ptolemy. Asia, king of the north, Seleucid. And Macedonia, whatever that. Macedonians are different from Greeks. The Seleucid rule over Yasharal, supposedly. Okay, let's get to the kingdom. Alexander dies. His vast empire is soon split among his 4 generals, one of which is Seleucid Nicator. Remember that bastard. Seleucus begins the Seleucid Empire in 312. Over time, the empire expands to include Judea and Jerusalem. That's why you need to remember that bastard. In an aggressive, I'm sorry, I'm reading too fast. I already know what it says. An aggressive campaign to force Greek culture Hellenizing, and we are much Hellenized today, into the lives of those in Judea is undertaken by Seleucid ruler Antiochus IV Epiphanes. Yahudian religious practices are forbidden, like the Bible and circumcision and the Shabbat, the main ones. Mattathias, 167 BC, a Yahudian priest starts a revolt against the Seleucid overlords of Judea by refusing to worship the Greek gods and sacrificing swine on the temple. Mattathias died, but there was one coon, step and fetch a Negro that did it, and Mattathias slew that nigga and knew he had to run. Mattathias dies about a year later, or rest. One of his 5 sons, Yehuda, became military chief of the rebellion. Yehuda will later be known as Yehudas Maccabi, or Judah the Hammer, which translates to mean Judah the Hammer. Judas was called the Hammer as recognition of his ferocity in battle. He smashed these devils. 164 BC, Yehuda Maccabeus, who will start the Hasmonean dynasty of rule, leads a group of dissidents to victory over Antiochus' military. Yehudis enters Jerusalem and religiously cleansed the temple spiritually, which had been polluted by the Seleucids, Greeks and Romans, or Greeks. On the 25th day of Kislev, the temple was rededicated. It was winter. A miracle is believed to have occurred when only, I'm gonna make it special because this is like a re-incitement of Hanukkah every year. A miracle is believed to have occurred when only 1 day's supply of oil in the temple's candle burn lasts for 8 days. Why do they have a 7 candlestick or even 10 stick menorah? It should be an 8 candlestick menorah. This event is commemorated each year by the Yahudis through the holy day known as Hanukkah. 160. Yehudas Maccabeus dies in battle. I have utmost respect for Hanukkah, and I always say it like that. Hanukkah, my nigga. You celebrate Hanukkah, my nigga? Hanukkah, my nigga? 147. Judea gains its independence. Yehuda gains its independence. We'll go back to that. One Jewish group was the Pharisees, the pious ones, who adopted the highest standards for purity in their homes. So it said they burned the temple. Did I get that yet? Not yet. Let me get that. I just want to go to where they burnt the temple. Okay, this is the temple. That's the so this is looking, so we're looking northwest, and Kidron Valley is over here, and Gihon Valley, and Mount Olives is over here, and Mount, what is it, Nebo? What are them legions? Them legions went on one of them mountains. And there's another mountain over here they was camping at. And then they came down this way and they came this way and they did all their little besiegement. Right? I think this is north. This way is north. Let's look at another angle. Okay, yeah, this is north, west, east, south, Kidron Valley, Mount Olives, and another mountain here. Forgot what mountain it was. I'm on the spot. Okay. That's where these bastards be crying after our black lord. Antonia built by Herod. Solomon's temple. The court of the Gentiles. Look at that. So when you see Revelation, we all up in here. This is security zone. You are not allowed. Europeans are not allowed past here. If they are, put them to death. If they are past it, put them to death. This is the Holy of Holies once a year. Look how big that thing is. Boy, Solomon can, and you know, they said the curtains was tall, long curtains, black. Look at that. Joktan and Boaz, exalted and strengthened. Okay, let's look. That's the fort Herod built, the expanding wall. That's the smallest city he built, this one. Okay, Mount of Olives over to the east. What was the other mountain? Let me go get that. Alright, this thing says Mount of Olives, but I do know it was the 10th Legion. So let's see. Pause it. Every time I hit pause, that's when this thing wants to that's when it wants to like load. But then when I let it play, that's when it like glitch up. So I'm already wise to the devil. What mountain were they on? I don't need all of that, bro. Tell me what mountain they was on. What's wrong with you? After the Romans destroyed the temple and burned Jerusalem in 70 CE, bastards, the 10th Legion, 𝚑𝚊𝚟𝚎 of the Roman army camped on the southwestern hill of the city in the area known today as the Citadel by Jaffa Gate. This was not, however, enough to stifle the resurgence of Yahudian nationalism. Bar Kokhba, Hadrian, I and the army are well. He didn't even want to say that because they weren't. It was kicking their ass. That's not it. Pause. Okay, Augustus. Look at it. Clearly a white man that knows he's a European or Caucasian at that time. The legion was founded in 41 or 40 by Julius Caesar, Octavian, Mark Antony, Y'all know these names. What mountain were y'all on? Syria. Okay. These guys were good at what they did. That's why they hired them. Okay. We're still at BC. So these guys were in operation like 40, 50 years. Oh no, 70 CE. So it must have been. It was founded in 41 or 40 by Julius. So 40, 56, and 30 years. 30 years. Alright, Nero. We're not worried about that. 67 onward, fought the wars against the Jews from 67 onwards. So 3 years before the destruction, they fought wars against the Yehudi. It was commanded by Marcus Trajanus, the father of the future emperor. The supreme commander of the Roman forces in Judea was General Vespasian, whose son Titus would be the one to see the fall of Jerusalem walls, who was to become emperor during the civil war that broke out after the suicide of Nero 68. Crazy dude that didn't like black people. After the first year of war, X Frantensis and V Macedonica had their winter camp at Caesarea. I told y'all Caesarea was that place for them boys coming into the Levant. They always chilled in Caesarea. And after the capture of Gamala, the 10th moved to modern Bethshean. 68. River Jordan destroyed the monastery of Qumran, where the Dead Sea Scrolls have been found. Winter cap at Jericho, mid-69. Commander may have been Terentius Rufus, who is mentioned as commander of the troops by Flavius Josephus. In 70, took part in the siege of Jerusalem. After the capture, prisoners of war were sent to Seleucia, where the legionaries forced him to cut the canal of Titus. Although this was hard labor, these people were lucky that they were not sent to Rome to build the Colosseum. After the fall of Jerusalem, Judea remained unquiet to show the world that Rome was, in spite of the length of Jewish Yahudian war and the Civil War of 69, still a superpower. Governor Flavius Silva started to besiege the citadel at Matsuda. Although this was, from a military point of view, a rather pointless operation, a small garrison in the neighborhood would be sufficient to deprive the people on the rock from support. It served Roman public relations. No mountain, it sounds like these guys today, huh? No mountain was too high for the Roman army. To the 10th, it meant a rehabilitation after the disgraceful loss of its eagle. Was to stay in Judea for more than a century and a half. Jerusalem became its new base, and several unremarkable archaeological finds in the holy city, bricks and tiles with the name of emblem of the legion, proved its presence. Unfortunately, we do not know the precise location of its fortress. The emblem of the legion is not an eagle, but a boar or pig, was visible on several places, as much as it was visible, as much as you damn piglet, and must have been intended to humiliate the Yahudian population. You damn right. To this day, it offends me. The legion no longer had it, and you had me eating this stuff. You got most of my people eating it still to this day. Most Judeans are eating pork. It's crazy. It's crazy how true this is, through and through, to me and to you. But was led by the provincial governor, who had the rank procurator. No longer had its own commander. Okay, so they have free reigns to do what they want, basically. All right. Okay. I don't want to see no more of that. Mount of Olives. Then you got Mount Zion, Mount Olives. What was the nearby? I think it was Mount of Olives. Mountains of Israel. Let me type this in. Mountains of Jerusalem. Name list. Just real quick. Suffer me. Mount Olive, Mount Scopus. Still's on Mount Scopus. That's right. Ooh, I got a song about it. Why did I forget? Mount Scopus. Come on, let's get it. I'm going to show you. And Legion, Mount Scopus. I'm going to type in Mount Scopus. Let's see if they come with Mount Scopus themselves. Is Mount Scopus the Mount of Olives? The highest point on the Mount of Olives is the ridge, Mount Scopus. The peak is to its north is Mount Scopus, while the peak to its south is the Mount of Corruption. The highest point of the Mount of Olives. That doesn't help nobody. Northeast. Okay, Mount Scopus. I just want to get the images real quick, and we're going to continue real quick. Give me 2 minutes. Mount Scopus. They won't even give me a map. They think I really want to see them bastards in my land. Map. Geography. How about we learn something? Legion. Now I'm going to type in Legion. Mount Scopus. Legio. It's all the same. Mount Scopus. Let me get the images. Come on. Oh no, not for that one. Let me pause it till I get ready. Alright, Israelite. Look how close. This is the Kidron. Oh, Valley of Hinnom. Kidron is on the right. Valley of Hinnom. The Ginon Valley. Okay. If you're an Israelite in the truth, you know about these valleys. That's your escape route if you want to get out of Jerusalem. That's how you not get seen. You better know what time it is, my nigga. Mount of Olives, Mount of Offense. highest point. Mount of Olives was in between. So you got Mount Scopus, Looking Out Point, Mount of Olives. That's how close they were. And anytime they wanted to come besiege, they would come over here, come around here, and try to besiege it that way. Get in through the temple, get up here, and this is a small city. This is an upper city. This is a bigger city. This are all the regular people. This is where you and me would have lived at. Royalties lived over here. That would have been me, actually. Every other Israelite down here in the city. Okay? They came down from here, came around, came up in, besieged the wall, broke it down, besieged the wall, broke it down. Again, each one of these walls took them like 8 months to get through. It wasn't no overnight. Got in the temple. We fought for like a few months. Burnt the temple. It was an accident, but they did it. Got through the temple. Started slaughtering everybody in the city they could find. That's the destruction of Jerusalem. 70 AD. This side of the timeline. Way after Christ. Right? Legio X. And they got, look at that, be Roman. They're selling it to you. Oh yeah. You got white women that like antiquity. Let me get Scopus. Where's Scopus? I just want Scopus. How big is this thing? 60,000 people. 60,000 people. Let me get Scopus. SCOPUS. Oh, the first paragraph? No, it's down here. So Titus deployed 4 legions. Legion 5 is in the north. Legion 10 was... Somebody doesn't know how to do paragraphs. It's too big to go back like that. The Mount of Olives. And Titus himself chose Mount Scopus as his headquarters. That's why I was confused. Where the 10, 11, 12, and 10, 15 legions were stationed. However, Titus, so where the 12th and 15th legion were stationed. However, Titus did not fully trust the strength of the 12th legion after the defeat of Cestius Gallus at Beth Horon in Galilee. You bastard, move that. Due to the stupidity of Cestius, and therefore sent him finally north to Meletina. During the siege of, so he said, you're not smart enough to come against these black men. We need a genius. We don't need no regular nigga, no regular heathen. We want a smart white boy to come up against these black men. During this, bring me the geniuses. They reassigning niggas because they getting their ass beat by these men without weapons, right? During the siege of Jerusalem, Legio X Frentensis became famous for the effective use of various types of machines. It was noted that they were able to throw stones weighing about 25 kilograms at a distance of over 400 meters. Wow. And this is to kill your black ass. Mind you, this is what the white man is. A warfare loving ass person. He loved to do that. 25 kilograms is what? This is Scopus right here. And ain't nothing. And they had a nigga right here. They had a nigga right here. They had a nigga right here. And they just came 60,000 niggas. 60,000 for a city of a million. Am I lying? Am I lying? It says 60,000. The suppression of the uprising in Judea was successful. Only Jerusalem and Masada, the desert stronghold of the Zealots, remained outside the control of the Romans. It's 55 pounds. 55 pounds. £55 is 55 pounds, I guess. Let's continue. Only Yahudian groups was the Pharisees who adopted, one Judean group was the Pharisees who adopted the highest standard for purity in their homes, devoted interpreters of Yahudian law. They also valued the prophets, other writings, and oral tradition, the Pharisees, the pious ones. They believed there would be a resurrection of the dead. The Sadducees, sons of Zadok, were a priestly group that used the law but not the other writings and did not believe in resurrection, so they didn't care about the prophets. As Essenes lived in separate communities, including the one where the Dead Sea Scrolls were found. One thing to note about the Dead Sea Scrolls, they proved that the Bible was not tampered with, because you found the Dead Sea Scrolls on this side of the timeline, and it has the same text as the ancient Bible, which been throughout all the timelines. Same words verbatim. So how can the Bible not be? What did they say? Give me some of the things they say. The Bible's not real. It was written by many people. How do you black folks trust the Bible when white people wrote it? They're lying. Okay, well, the Dead Sea Scrolls stop all of that. They follow distinctives, and really get away from those people telling you stuff like that, because they haven't even read any information, any newspaper article to know the difference between right and wrong in what they're saying. They follow distinctive standards for purity and considered the temple leadership to be corrupt. Zealots sought to regain Yahudian independence from Rome. You just read that. There was zealots fighting. The other Israelites was with the shits. They didn't mind Roman power, influence, Hellenization, eating pig and chitlins and pig's feet. I heard a nigga talk up pig feet like that was the main course the other day. I said, nigga, you is nasty. I don't know who your family is, but they need to be ashamed and shun your ass. One of the weapons used by Samson was the jawbone of an ass. He used it as an impoverished club. Improvisation and ingenuity were especially valued by Yahudian tribes. They were forbidden by the Philistines to smelt or work metal, and so were unable to produce metal weapons themselves. This was clearly a disadvantage when fighting an enemy. Anyone who could get around this problem by inventing a different way of fighting guerrilla warfare, or if that's us, guerrilla warfare, we invented that, or an efficient non-metal weapon, the jawbone of an ass used as a club, was clearly an asset to the Belegud tribes. I don't know what that is. I don't feel like researching that. When the Philistines learned the reason behind Samson's prodigious strength, what's up with these words? They captured him and put out his eyes, Lord, making him, they thought, utterly helpless. Yeah, we gonna get y'all. He was led into the temple of Dagon, we gonna get you, and made sport, we gonna get you, of Aspart, we gonna get you, of the day's entertainment, we gonna get you, but we about to get you. Unannounced by the Philistines, his hair began to grow back, black, luxurious curls. In one last magnificent effort, he pulled the two supporting pillars of the temple apart, which supported the temple, burying himself. So those are foundational pillars, not the accent decorated pillars. Burying himself, I'm trying to rush through this, and up to 3,000 Philistines and more, and their children and their women in the rubble. You ain't think they brought their girlfriends over there? Come on, baby, we going to this party to see this nigga. We gonna laugh at 𝚑𝚊𝚟𝚎, and 𝚑𝚊𝚟𝚎 killed your ass, huh? Yeah, fetch that. Title: Types of Mankind, or Ethnological Researches based upon the ancient monuments, paintings, sculptures, and crania of races, and upon their natural, geographical, physiological, and biblical history. Philological. Negro types. Did it say Negro? Did it say Negro? Is that an R? Is that an R? That's an R. Negro types. Negro meaning black. System in his tripartite division, inasmuch as he groups the affiliations of Japheth, that is his white races, between the Tauric chains of mountains and the Caucasians, along with the northern coast of Asia Minor, Turkey, to the Black Sea. So again, Egyptian ethnography chose for the standard type of yellow races 4 effigies, which means representation of likeness of, which entirely correspond in every desideratum of locality, color, and physical conformation, with those families classified in 10th Genesis as the affiliations of Shem. And like the Hebrew geographer, the Theban artist must have known that the yellow or Shemitic groups. So who is anti-yellow? Anti-Shemitic. It says Semitic were yellow people. So are those Jewish people, those converse Shemites, Hail to the Na. Groups of men occupied countries, and Semites. Groups of men occupied countries immediately south of the white races, and so they came down here and entered our land and called themselves Israelites. They are not Jews. And how you going to call yourself one of the blackest tribe of Israel? Ain't you stupid? And stretching from the Suras to the Isthmus of Suez, including the riverlands of the Tigris, and you. So from like God says, from like Yah says, from Abraham would get from Euphrates to the Nile or Suez, whatever, to the borders of Egypt, together with the Arabian Peninsula. The specimen illustrative of these groups of yellow-skinned races here. So why are the Sudanese fighting? They're going back into Egypt to get their land back. Egyptians will get their land back, which are the Sudanese today, and the Negroes, which are the Judeans, will get our land back. A picture-perfect, happy ending story. The specimen illustrator of these groups of yellow-skinned races here presented in figure 163 is also like the following. A reproduction from the four figures before shown on page 85. Equally parallel is the Yahudian classification in respect to the affiliation of Ham, with those red races among which Egyptians placed the Rot or themselves to the later Kham was nothing but the hieroglyphical name of Egypt proper, Kham or Kham, the dark land of the Nile, chemistry and alchemy, corrupted by the Greeks into chemis and chemia, and by us preserved in such words as chemistry and alchemy, both Egyptian sciences. While in Hebrew geography, Kham, signifying dark or Swarthi, merely meant all those non-Shemitic families which under the special economia of Cushites, Canaanites, Mizraimites, Libyanites, Montezarianites, Egyptians, Berbers, and so forth, formed that group of proximate types situate aboriginally east and west of the Nile and along its banks north of the first cataract at Syene. Our woodcut illustrates the Egyptian standard type of these populations, but here the analogy between the earlier Egyptian and the posterior Hebrew system ceases. Negritian races never dilly-dallied near to Palestine, then 1,500 miles to the south. Negritian, Niger, did not enter into the so they didn't even come up to where we were, but them white folks tried to. The Maccabean independence BC, a priest named Mattathias raised the banner of revolt, and after his murder, his 5 sons in succession led the efforts of the Yahudi for freedom. The greatest of them, though all were heroes, was Yehuda, called Maccabeus, the Hammer. In BC 165, he took possession of Jerusalem, and after his murder, his brother Shimeon won the recognition of the freedom of Palestine. Other Maccabean princes extended the boundaries of the land over Edom, Samaria, and Galilee. Under a succession of these rulers, also called Hasmonean kings, Palestine, or the Levant, was virtually independent, though nominally subordinate to either Syria or Egypt, king of the north, king of the south. The Roman supremacy, BC 40 AD 70. Perhaps this period should begin with BC 63, Pompey, when the Roman general Pompey entered Jerusalem, and the Romans began to exercise a controlling influence. But the representatives of the Maccabean line were allowed to reign until BC 40, when they were set aside, and Herod the Great, not so great, an Idumean Edomite, was made king by the Romans. You see that? You caught that? He was made king by the Romans, not of our own accord. Let's go back to Salome. Go back to Salome. He was made king by the Romans. A halfling. Okay. It was in the closing portion of his reign that Yeshua HaMashiach was born. At the end of Herod, Then Yeshua came. He said, you know what? Let's stop this Roman thing right now. Y'all Romans think y'all got away with everything. Let me come through now so I can let my people know I have not forsaken them and that you white folks ain't going to get away with it. The last 70 years of the Roman period belong to New Testament history and will be considered in connection with the maps of that period. But in the New Testament, you white folks been killing us. So how the hell can you say that you don't read the Old Testament, that you stay only in the New? Don't you know that's even more death towards your name? Fringes and borders of blue. The law requiring the children of Yisrael to wear fringes and borders and blue borders. Numbers chapter 15. And Yahuwah spake unto Moshe, saying, speak unto the children of Yisrael, and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations, and that they may put upon the fringes of the borders a ribbon of blue, not red, not black, which is y'all favorite color. Guess what? Biatch, my favorite color. Israelites gonna wear my favorite color. To hell with all of you red bangers. And it shall be unto you for a fringe. People that like red likes blood, death, and pain. I'm going to tell you that right now. For a fringe that ye may look upon it. Where's the people that like blue? And remember all the commandment of Yahweh and do them. So when they wear red, they don't remember Yah. And they seek, and that ye seek not after your own heart and your own eyes, which is the opposite of blue, is red. After which ye used to go a-whoring like a bloody mistress woman on her period and wants to still have sex, that ye may remember and do all my mishpat and be kodesh unto your El, one God. Deuteronomy 22. Thou shalt make thee fringes upon the four quarters of thy vesture, wherewith thou coverest thyself. When it comes to clothing according to the law, remember this is describing us. Hebrew Israelites are commanded to. So how do we set ourselves different from Gentiles? Wear fringes and blue borders through the borders of their garments. Do not mix linen and wool together. I know you heard that before. And I'm confirming, do not mix cotton and polyester. Do not mix fabrics together. Few disagree. I agree. Men should not wear clothing. Do not wear clothing that pertains to a female, a woman. Female should not wear clothing that pertains to a male, a man. Aaron and his sons had pants, my nigga. They had pantalones. They had Levi's, my nigga. Special pants like jeans. And that's it. That's the end of it. We're not playing with them. Let me get one more thing. I forgot to show y'all this. This is Herod, the mixed boy. Watch out for these mixed niggas. This is Herod. Let me get that. This is Herod. Herod came through a black woman. But Herod, listen, Herod came through a black. He down here somewhere. Hyrcanus and all. He down here. Herod came through a black woman. This is Herod right here. And his goons are mixed niggas that's inferior and that's crazy and conflicted between two races. These crazy niggas ready to kill something. Herodes and his gang, his goon of mixed niggas pulling all the baddies, right? And then there goes they little jits practicing. That's what it looked like. These niggas ain't nothing but 20, 22 and younger. 22, 17, and 15. Killing babies, practicing. You can't kill babies, little nigga. Yeah, we can kill babies. Killing babies. Now you know these are black children, because look at the afro. Look at how plump they look. You know black children look nice and plump, just like that. Juicy. Goodly, the Bible calls it. Goodly child. Right? Ain't doing nothing like, hey, what's up, my nigga? What you doing? Ain't got no fear. Well, some of the little niggas trying to fight the motherfucker. Excuse my language. And you see how they put him to death under the fifth rib. Quick death, but still. They all got quick deaths, but still. One got his head cut off. These are babies. I know y'all laughing, but these are babies. This picture is a whole joke, but these are all women. Why are all women got their hair tied up in a bun. Now, you know any white women that do that? I know a bunch of black women that cover their hair. My granny, my mama. Come on. They stripping them. You see them grabbing themselves and turning away. This is the characteristic of of an Israelite woman. Humble. Feet shouldn't even touch the ground, so you know she's in poverty. They supposed to have trinkets in their ear. None of these niggas supposed to see our women. Our women is shut up in the city. Nobody's supposed to see our beautiful women. And that's what it's going to be like. You're not going to see my woman walking around Walmart and you just get the eye gawk at her. Nah, I'll go to Walmart for her. We're going to send a couple of European servants. But these are black children. Look at these black kids. All got the same hair. I'm just trying to show you. Play that music. Killing our people. Did I go through everything? Should I call the cops on these black people? A flowchart for white people. Thank you, white concubine. Thank you. You can go on mute now. Should I call the cops on these black people? Are they committing a crime? No. Do not fucking call the cops. Are they committing a crime? I'm not sure. Do not fucking call the cops. Are they committing a crime? Yes. Are you sure? No. Do not fucking call the cops. What's wrong with you? Are they committing a crime? Yes. Are you sure? Positive. Alright, what kind of crime? Just being loud. Alright, then ask them to keep it down, please, and then do not fucking call the cops. This is damn sure truthful. White folks need to print this in every job and take it home, do homework, research on it. Are you sure? Are they committing a crime? Yes. Are you sure? Positive. Alright, what kind of crime? Jaywalk, malum prohibitum. Crime that doesn't get you killed. Jaywalking, smoking weed, loitering. Crime that just keeps the world in order. The laws that keep the world, crime against that. Jaywalking, smoking weed, loitering. Okay, do not fucking call the cops. Are they committing a crime? Yes. Are you sure? Positive. What kind of crime? Malum NC. Arson, rape, murder. Okay, call the cops. I'm gonna print this out like in 50s and 100s and leave it at gas stations. I'll be doing good if I did that, right? If y'all see this floating around, once I get that red stuff, that's a lot of ink you gotta pay for in the printer. But once I get that straight, yeah, y'all might see this around. Holler at me if you want it. Email me. I got all my information up. It ain't hard to get to me. Alright, this is Ben Yosef. Shalom, shalom. I'm gonna break this down into 2 parts. Look out for the second part. I'm gonna do first and second, because this thing is like an hour and 40 minutes long.